Earlier this week On3 published a list of the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten, and it is safe to say that Nebraska no longer gets the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these preseason lists. That loss of the benefit of the doubt has surely been earned. With that said, any optimism surrounding Anthony Colandrea at Nebraska in 2026 is not baseless. He was the 2025 Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year. He started 17 games at Virginia prior to going to UNLV. At UNLV, he started all 14 games in 2025 while putting up good enough numbers to be considered the top offensive player in the conference. But the Mountain West is not the Big Ten. Additionally, the Big Ten has a lot of good quarterbacks in the league for 2026, which makes it more difficult for Colandrea to make that top 10 list. Would I have put Colandrea in this top 10 list? No. Do I think Colandrea has a great opportunity to surprise and make a jump to be considered one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten? Definitely. I like the idea of Nebraska earning back some of that benefit of the doubt. The 3-2-1, 4 top 100 recruits, Monster's Big 12 gamble, and Nebraska's transfer numbers. Nebraska reaches a recruiting milestone, the Big 12's Monster deal sparks debate, and we break down portal numbers, QB rankings, and more. We hit on that and more in this week's 3-2-1 column with the latest insights, key questions, and one bold prediction. With that in mind, Bill Bender of the Sporting News released his latest bowl projections, including the full college football playoff bracket and every postseason matchup. While plenty will change between now and December, the projections offer an early snapshot of where teams stand heading into the 2026 season. Nebraska Fall Camp Preview for 2026. Offensive line. Matt Rule's fourth fall camp at Nebraska is right around the corner. The Husker Online team dives into what to expect from the Huskers with our position-by-position fall camp previews. We continue our Nebraska Fall Camp Preview series with the offensive line, a revamped unit that's once again looking to take a big step forward in 2026. Most indispensable Huskers. Isaiah Mosey takes on the next step. He arrived as a receiver recruit. Now he's a running back through and through. Isaiah Mosey has spent the past year learning the finer points of the position, adding muscle and preparing for the weekly punishment that comes with playing running back in the Big Ten. 2026 MLB trade deadline. Passon's top moves for contenders. It's not easy to identify the best matches for teams as the August 3rd trade deadline approaches because it's still patently unclear which teams will be adding and subtracting. When all it takes is, quite literally, one good week to go from also-ran to a playoff spot, the line between contender and pretender blurs to near non-existence. There's a very real possibility that a team that eventually makes the postseason does not appear below, even though this intends to serve as a roadmap for the trade deadline madness to come. The San Diego Padres, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Toronto Blue Jays, and even a Washington Nationals team that is over .500 didn't make the cut. And that is fine because over the next 25 days the mess will sort itself out. Or at least force teams to make painful decisions. U.S. star Christian Pulisic suffered microfracture versus Belgium. Sources: United States International and AC Milan attacker Christian Pulisic sustained a bone bruise and microfracture in his lower leg and will be sidelined for several weeks. Sources confirmed to ESPN. The Athletic was the first to report the news. Pulisic sustained the injury 7 minutes into the second half of the USMNT's 4-1 round of 16 defeat to Belgium, when he attempted to take a shot on goal but struck the back of Belgian midfielder Yuri Tielemans' leg.